Hi crocheters of the world, here I am with a new project. It's the granny stitch blouse. I actually called it the Valzer of the flowers, because I created these granny flowers, really nice, from my point of view, really nice and delicate stitch. And it's a raglan, top down. I will walk you through the pattern. I will show you how to actually put the flowers in between the granny, so you will have a nice and delicate and so romantic look. I work it with the crazy cotton takke, 2 balls, only 2 balls of yarn. So you can choose Zauberball cotton, you can choose the cotton takke, and I will leave the links below of our yarn store. Or if you want to work it with a in just one color, one tone, you can choose violet. It's absolutely gorgeous. You need a kind of lacy yarn. So not fingering, yes, lacy I can say. I worked all the project with 3.75 millimeters hook, so 3.5, 3.75, it's the best measure hook that you can use. Not very difficult, actually it's a granny pattern, so let's get started. So let us begin our blouse with the slip knot and the arches. We work 3 chains and 1 elongated double crochet into the first chain of these 3, and now we have the first arch ready, and we will continue on like this. In each arch we will work 3 double crochets. I am working with a 3.75 millimeters hook and chain 3 again to continue, yarn over, insert hook actually into the double crochet that we just worked, work another elongated double crochet. This is how we will continue on. So fast, so perfect. So chain 3 and elongated double crochet into the double crochet below. Easy to make. So I finished with my arches. I put 16 for my medium to large size. You can chain 3 to begin the first row, and into the double crochet you insert hook, and you will work 1 double crochet and 1 more. So like this we have 3 double crochets in here. So we have 1 granny stitch, and into the same double crochet, into the same stitch you insert hook and work 2 more double crochets. And these 2 more double crochets stands for the raglan line, the first raglan line. Into the first arch now we go and we work 3 double crochets, which is 1 granny stitch. I will name granny stitch 3 double crochets, okay? And then we skip into the next and we work 1 granny stitch, so 3 double crochets, and into the next arch we will work again 3 double crochets, which means another granny stitch, and these 3 granny stitches are for the sleeve. So we began with 1 and with 2 double crochets. Now in between the arches, so you go into the double crochet of the arch, the first or the next, is not important, in the middle, and you work 2 double crochets into it. Then we will continue on working into arches 10 stitches into next 10 arches. I will work in each 1 granny stitch, so 3 double crochet into each. Now what am I doing with these 2 double crochets in between the parts? There will be the increasing lines, so we have to put around them a marker. Okay, so here I have my 3 double crochet. I actually work 5, so into the next 2 double crochets that I work together at the beginning of the row, I put my marker. So I have 2 raglan lines ready. So I finished my 10 granny stitches into the 10 arches, next 10 arches, and in between them I work again my 3rd raglan line, which means I will work in between the arches 2 double crochets. Again, put the marker around them. It's very important to know where there are. Okay, and now into the last 3 arches I will work 3 granny stitches for the sleeve, for the second sleeve. Granny stitches, as I said before, 3 double crochets for a granny stitch. I don't chain in between, I just work the granny stitches as they are. And now at the end, into the final chain or the beginning chain of the arches, work 2 double crochets plus 3 more double crochets. These 2 double crochets are, you can work these 2 double crochets actually into the last double crochet there, okay, and into the chain we will work the 3 double crochets for the last granny stitch, which is the first granny stitch of the front side. Anyway, 2 double crochets and into the chain 3 double crochets. We began with 3 double crochets plus 2 double crochets, and now we finish with 2 double crochets plus 3 double crochets. The groups of 3 both are for the front sides, the beginning and the final one, and the 2 double crochets are stands for the raglan line, in this case the last raglan line. So very important, put the marker around each group of 2 double crochet. You have 4 groups. Now chain 3, I won't increase now at the beginning, okay, so I will just skip the 3 double crochets, sorry, and to increase the raglan you will increase before, as I am doing now, before, so put 3 double crochets before and after the 2 double crochets. The 2 double crochets will be worked like this: a crisscross front post double crochet on the front side, and back post double crochet, normal back post double crochet on the back side. We are on the front side, so I will work crisscross. So I work first the second and now the first. It's a crisscross front post elongated double crochet, and immediately after it put the second raglan increase, so 3 double crochets. So before and after this raglan line, and then I will continue on working exactly the granny stitch. So in between the granny stitches of the row below I work granny stitches until I reach my next raglan line. Before this I will work 3 double crochets, so in between the last granny stitch of the row below and the 2 double crochets of the raglan line, work your 3 double crochets. These are, so you will always increase with only 1 granny stitch per even if you work 2, you will see. So I crisscrossed my front post double crochets for the raglan line, work elongated double crochet, and now after it, so before and after, don't forget about, because it's very important, this is the raglan line, so before and after the crisscross front post double crochets we work raglan stitches, 1 and 1. Can you see? So we have the raglan stitch, and before and after we work like this. Now let me work the back side, and I will continue on like this for all around, so till the end of the row. This is actually the second row, but the most important, so you understand how to work the raglan lines. I will work exactly the same thing before and after the third and the fourth raglan lines. Okay, see you after. So I finished my second row. Actually, I just skip the last, so it's the front part, the granny stitch, and I put one double crochet into the last double crochet. Okay, so actually we won't increase. Now I will chain 3, and here we have one double crochet. So in between we have to work one uh, granny stitch, because this is the pattern stitch, so we won't increase. We will increase from the fourth. Now I skip one granny stitch and I work in between the granny and the raglan line, and this is for all sizes. You will work like this for the front side. Okay, I work 3 double crochets, and now on the wrong side you will work into the first a front post elongated double crochet, into the second a back post elongated double crochet. So you don't crisscross, only on the front, on the right side. Okay, on the right side you work front post, obvious, and on the back side you work back post. We work another raglan increase after the raglan line, after we work the raglan line, and now we go ahead and work in between the granny stitches of the row below, granny stitches, obvious. And I already said that I don't put chain or nothing in between. I just work the granny stitches. Okay, go ahead and work for the sleeve now until we reach the second raglan increase actually. Okay, here we are. We reach the second raglan increase, so we will skip the last granny stitch. In between the last granny stitch and the raglan line, second raglan line, we work a granny stitch. We will work the raglan line. We are on the wrong side, which means we will work around the first a back post elongated double crochet, around the post of the next an back post elongated double crochet. Elongated because we pulled through 1 and then 2 and 2. Okay, and then after we work the granny stitch for the next part of the raglan increase. So that's it. I will continue on like this. So I finished the row, and now from the fourth row we will begin to increase for the front side too, for the neckline. Okay, so this was the first, then we didn't increase into the next 2 rows. Okay, so for the front side we only have 1 granny stitch on one side, 1 granny stitch on the other side. We already worked the raglan lines, you can see them nice. And now from this fourth row we will begin to increase, so I will chain 4 and into the first double crochet of the first granny stitch work 3 double crochets. So which means we increase, we put 1 granny stitch more. Okay, and we skip the granny. In between the 2 granny stitches of the row below we work 1 more, so now we just work normally, only that we increase in this row. And from this row we will always increase until we close on the front side neckline. Now I am working the raglan increase, so 3 double crochets before the raglan line, crisscrossed the raglan line, so front post double crochet, we crisscross because we are on the front side, and after the line, the Raglan line, we go ahead and work all the row like this, and we finish with an increase 2. So I am finishing the 4th row. I will increase, and from now on I will always put an increase at the beginning and at the end of each row until I will complete on one row, on one front side. I will have a third part of the entire number of granny stitches of the back side. Okay, because we must have 1/3 on one side, 1/3 on the other side, and 1/3 will be added with the arches and will close the neckline front side. Okay, and then we will continue on working in rounds. So let us begin the 5th row with an increase. So chain 4, and where you work the chain or into the double crochet. If you don't work your last chain, you can put actually into the last double crochet your increase into the last and into the first. Okay, even if you don't want to work one more double crochet. Okay, chain 4, and in between them put the increase. So as I said before, you can also only work the granny stitch at the end into the last double crochet of the granny stitch of the row below. You work 3 double crochets. Okay, even if you don't want to put the chain 4 before this. So anyway, the important thing is to add at the beginning and at the end 1 granny stitch more, and I will show you how many rows I will work to the before I close in round in front side, for the front sides of the neckline. So I will continue on working my increases until I will have 3 more or less equal parts. So I finished my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, my 6th row, and now I have 5 on one side, 5 on the other side, and on the back side I have 15. So the third part will be put in the middle to join in the round. Okay, now let me just explain you a little bit, because this is not a rule. You don't have to achieve 3 equally parts to close in round. So there you can just keep in mind the rule that the sum of the two, the difference between the number of the groups of 3 double crochets in between the 2 markers on the back side and the 2 front sides, it's the number. So this difference is the number of the arches that you, so actually groups of 3 double crochet that you have to put on the right side, on the yes, right side, front side, to on the front side to close in round. Okay, so I will chain 3 and into the first double crochet work your double crochet. This is my first arch, and now I will continue on for 5 times. 5. Now just join on the other side. 1, 2, 3 here. Cut your yarn like this, and now we have our blouse nice and with a very nice neckline, round neckline. So after I join, I cut the yarn and in on the left side, on the right side, left front side, I join the yarn, and I am on the back side. Very important to see where you are, if you are on the back side or front side. So I will back post on the second double crochet of the two of the raglan line. Okay, I'm working the beginner, the initial double crochet, and now I'm ready to work all around. So I will increase, only raglan increases now, of course, on the neckline we just finished. So I will just continue on working all around with my raglan increases and the normal granny stitches in between the granny stitches of the round below. Now we have rounds, not rows, but nothing changes. So we just have to continue on with the raglan increases. Okay, now I just worked all around. I am at the part that I added the arches, and here I just want to show you how to work. Now, because I don't want to skip directly into the arch, because that will be a ugly hole in between, I will work the first double crochet into the double crochet of the last granny stitch, the first double crochet of the 3 that I have to work, okay, and I will work a kind of decrease and another one into the first arch, and I close them together, okay, so it is a decrease, and then one more, and then 2 more, and I have my 3 double crochets. Yes, they are 4, but on the top they are 3 because there is a decrease, and I decreased only because I don't like actually that ugly part, ugly space that opens there when you skip on the arches part. And I will do the same thing on the other side, working each arch one group of 3 double crochets. Of course, I put 5 arches because I just need 5 arches, but the rule, you know, says to make the difference between the number of granny stitches that you have on the back side and the sum of the front side, and that will be what you will have to add, the number of arches that you have to add to join in round. Okay, so I am into the working into the last, and I will do the same thing. I work my last double crochet, I don't finish it, and I work one more and I finish them together. Okay, that's all. So work like this, you'll see you will have a nice and smooth passing, let's say, from the arches to the can you see? It looks so beautiful, so smooth. Okay, now I will just finish my round, and I will show you how to finish and how to begin a new round. So here I am, I finished my round, and I work my last group of 3 double crochet, my last granny, which is the raglan increase on the other side. So we split actually with the beginning and the end of the round now the raglan increase, front side left line, raglan line, and I will just work another back post double crochet to complete the line and slip stitch into the first. Now to begin a new round we will always turn as if we continue working in rows. So I turn and I just work around my first double crochet, my front post double crochet. So around the first double crochet I will work my first double crochet, and then I will skip the second. Yes, I will skip the second, and I will work just skip the second, work around the first, a front post double crochet like this. This is the tricky part, but you'll see it's really nice. Work my beginning or initial double crochet and skip the second, please don't forget to skip the second directly in between the raglan line and the first group of 3 double crochets. You work your 3 double crochet, you work your increase, raglan increase. Okay, then continue on. I will be back to show you how to finish the round and to continue. So let's see how to finish the round. I work all around. So now we will just continue on working the increase, the raglan increases to increase actually the yoke until we reach the back side, the underarm. Now we can join on the underarm. Now how we have to do? We have to work the one that we skipped, and we go actually around it. Look, under the first one, around the second one, pull like this. Pull aside the first one now and just front post double crochet on the second. It's tricky, and now you can just slip stitch to join, and this is how you will continue on. You will turn now and work your first back post double crochet and so on. So that's it. See you at the division round. So here we are to the I am before the division, but I want to show you how to put actually the flowers, as you already have seen in the intro of the video. It's gradient flowers. So first of all, where you put them, it's up to you. So I put 3 on the front side, I put 1 on the sleeve in the middle, and then I will alternate them. The most important part is the first row or round actually of flowers, because in this one we will just have the graphic, let's say, of them. So I will put into the next row, I will alternate, I will work 2, and let me show you. I will show you actually there are 3 rows to complete for the pattern, and now I will show you the first one, so only the flower, okay, because the rest we know. I am still working on my yoke, so I am on my sleeve, on the second sleeve, only to show you how to collocate, how to put your how to work your flowers. So more or less in the middle. Now leave in between the flowers at least 3 granny stitches. This is the rule, let's say, and for the rest it's kind of free form, so you just have to alternate them. So now I will begin to work like this. Chain 3, then into the last double crochet of the last granny stitch I will work 1 double crochet, I won't finish it, 1 more, I won't finish it, 3 loops on the hook. Now skip the double crochet, skip the granny stitch. In between the 2 granny stitches work 3 double crochets, don't finish them. So as for the cluster, and this is the second petal actually of our flower. Okay, we have 6 loops on the hook. We continue on skipping 1 more granny stitch. In between this one and the other one we work the 3rd petal of our flower. Okay, so another cluster, 9 loops on the hook. Now yarn over, pull through all slowly, and insert hook and pull on 1 more loop to have a single crochet, not a chain. Chain 3, and into that single crochet work 1 more petal, so 2 more double crochets, close together, don't chain, just yarn over, skip 1 granny stitch and work the other granny stitch. And this is the first part. This is how you have to continue on and to work where you want to put your flowers. So as you can see, there are 4 petals worked in this first row, and we work on 3 granny stitches. Now on the front side I will put exactly as on the back side 3, and then in between them I will put the other sequence. So I worked all around my first round of the pattern, the flower pattern, okay, and now I work my beginning stitch. I am on the front side, so I work the first one, I skip the second, you know, and I work the increase, the raglan increase. Of course we still working the raglan increases. And now let me show you the second row of the flower actually. So I only show you how to work the flowers and explain you how to put them. Okay, so I am at the last granny before the first petal. I will work the next granny into actually the petal, the first petal that I worked. Okay, so into the petal that is horizontal, the one that I have it there. Okay, I work my granny, and now I will work into the single crochet where I work my 4 petals. I work one more, so work 3 double crochet that you will close them together, yarn over, pull through all, chain 3 with the secure chain, and then yarn over into the same single crochet in the center of the flower. You work the 6th petal actually, so the second on this round, and now you complete the flower with the second round, chain to secure, and exactly on the other side where we work your group of granny, on the horizontal petal, sorry, you will work the next group of granny, so like this. Okay, let me show you. Okay, and this is how you work the flower on the first and the second row of the flower. Now I will work all around with my, and I will complete all my flowers, and then I want to show you the third round that will be a granny round, how to work it over the flower, the grannies, and then we will alternate the flowers. So where we won't work flowers, we will work flowers. Okay, so I worked all around and I have my flowers. Can you see them? So nice and delicate. I have 3, as I said before, on the front side, so I will work in between them the next sequence of flowers. So then on the next 3 rows, actually I have one more row, one more round actually to complete for the repeating section, because from now on we will always work with the flowers, alternating them. Okay, you don't have to be very exactly, but in between where you work the first sequence, in between the first sequence of flowers, put your second sequence of flower. Anyway, you will always work these 3 rows to complete the sequence. Okay, 2 rows for the petals and 1 more only with granny stitches. Okay, I will work until I reach the flower, and now I will show you over the flower how to work. So I am before the flower, so I will show you how to work. I will work one granny stitch in between the last granny stitch and the petal, so in between the granny and the petal, then in between the 2 petals. Very important is because if you don't work like this, you will increase or decrease. Okay, so just pay attention. In between, and you won't work in between the petal and the granny as you worked at the beginning. So you skip the petal, you will work just after the granny, a granny stitch. Okay, so again, because it's tricky, we will work the first granny stitch in between the granny and the petal. Okay, so in between the granny and the petal, in between the 2 petals, and skipping the petal and the granny. You will work the granny in between the next 2 grannies. So you won't work, it's not symmetrical. Very important, you won't work in between at the end in between the petal and the granny, as you worked at the beginning in between the granny and the petal. You will skip the petal and you will skip the granny, and then you will work the next granny and will continue on. That's all. So you just need to pay attention. I will put in between these flowers, I will put other flowers from the next row, and I will just complete these 3 rows, changing the position of the flower, obvious, because we want them to be intercalate and in between them. So let's say we want to put them not one over the other but in between. And now I want to complete some more rounds. I already have more or less 20, so I think it's just enough for me. So I will show you how to divide the sleeves from the body. So I finished another section of sequence of flowers, and I put the flowers in between these flowers. Okay, so skip 3, and now I want to show you, this is the last round before the division. So I just want to show you, if you want to increase a little bit, how to increase. Actually, I increased on the back side, and on the front side I will show you how to do it. I already increased on the front side. You just work one granny stitch over the other granny stitch, so you don't skip the granny stitch below, but you work into it, and you work in between and after in between. Okay, and this is how you increase. It's really easy. You work into the stitch. You work before, you work after, but into the stitch too. Okay, I increased one granny stitch on the front side and one granny stitch on the back side because I like it nice and large. Now I am finishing my flowers. Can you see I put the flowers in between the flowers, the first sequence? Can you see the flowers? And let us measure the raglan line. I have 20 centimeters. So this is the raglan. This must be and reach the underarm. And I also don't forget to add 1.5 centimeters is one row. Measure one row, and with the division row we will actually add 1.5 for the underarm. So it's important because it can be larger if you don't think and you don't measure that the last row, and you don't put it in your total measurement of the raglan. Okay, now I am working on my last, it is the second row of the second flower sequence. So I am working over the petals. I am working the 2 petals that I have to add, chain 3, and work the other petal. Always work them in between the flowers of the sequence below. Okay, now I'm working the last stitch, granny stitch, the increase, and into the next round, which will be a right side round. So on the right side round I will work the division. See you for the next round. So I am finishing my round. It's a wrong side round, and try to make your division into a right side round. Okay, so now let's see how to divide. So we will just leave out the sleeve. It's a right side round, so I will begin by working my front post initial double crochet, skip the second, work the increase. Even if it's a division row, we work the increase on this side, so on the side of the front on the front side, let's say. Okay, so work your increase. Okay, and work all the front side, and I will meet you when I finish this part to show you how to actually work the division. Okay, so here I am. I worked all the front side, and now I increase. So please increase and work your line, front post line, raglan line. Now you will skip directly into the front post raglan line. You will crisscross, work your crisscross front post double crochet. So you finish on the front side with the raglan line and begin with the raglan line. Now on the circumference of the sleeve, you will actually can use two circumferences. So one that is smaller that I will use, I will show you when we work the sleeve. And now continue on with the back side. Put your increase, don't forget to increase after the raglan line, and continue on. So I increased also. And at the end I will increase, I will work the two front posts, and then I will slip stitch to join. So here I am. I worked my division round. Now I just have to slip stitch to join. You know, I have to work my last raglan line. I increased, I worked my last raglan line, and now to join I will work the normally join on the front side, so under the first front post, and then work your second front post to crisscross and actually slip stitch to join. Okay, perfect. And now let me show you. You just flip and you will work there. So actually the two columns of the front sides, both of them will become a granny stitch. So you go back a little bit, okay, and it's there that you will begin to work your first granny stitch. Okay, work your first granny stitch, skip the two lines, the two raglan lines, which I said we now are a granny stitch, and work in between another granny stitch and continue on like this. Of course you will continue on with your flower pattern too. Work always in between the sequences, the flowers, okay, put them always in between. Now I will actually work one more granny stitch and then a flower, and that's it. So from now on we will just continue on in length, for the length actually that we want our blouse to be. And yes, I can put a flower there, and in between actually the flowers I will put the flowers. And now I will show you how to work the sleeve, which is the last part of our blouse, granny and flowers blouse. Mine is about 49 centimeters. So on one side, the double is the circumference, and it's nice and large. I like it like this. Okay, and the circumference of the sleeve is about 15, about 30 actually mine will be, and there is another larger circumference. Okay, so work your flowers, granny flowers, and don't forget to put them, as I said, in between the sequence below. So I finished the length, and I also put a nice border. It's just a very easy border, but pretty nice. I will show you how to work the border at the end of the sleeve, because it's exactly the same thing, only smaller circumference. And I just want to tell you around, so the circumference, let's say, it's about, yes, 49-50 centimeters. So the length, it's 50 centimeters. It's a kind a square, let's say. So I have the circumference, it's about 100 centimeters, and 50 centimeters the length, but of course the length and even the width, it's you to decide. Just I want to tell you mine. And let's see the sleeve. You can go ahead and work exactly in between. So actually you will insert hook into one of the, you have the 4 stitches of the raglan lines, and you can insert hook in the middle, in one of the 2 that we have in the middle, and work the 3 double crochets to begin, and then you skip them and insert hook in between the before the first group of 3, and you go ahead and work all around, and this would be the larger circumference. Okay, so if you want it to work it larger, this is not the circumference that I choose, but I want to show you. It's about 17 centimeters on one side. Mine is 15 centimeters, 16. So it's a little bit difference in between this and that, the one that I choose. And the one that I choose is, I will show you, I insert hook into the stitch where I already worked this one. Okay, no, not that one of the last, so of the division row, but into the one that I work it. So into the stitch, not around the stitch. The last stitch is, of the raglan line, I worked them around the stitches, and now I insert hook into the stitch actually. Okay, so just watch, not there. If you want to make it larger, you insert hook in between, but I want to kind of make it smaller, so not into this, the last, but into the second to last row. So the last row before the decrease, actually, before the division, sorry. Okay, search for 1 and 1, and I will insert hook in between. I will insert hook through both, and I will work my first group of 3. Okay, so like this, I blocked them, I joined them together, and it's there that I will work my first group of 3 double crochets. Oops, sorry. Group of 3 double crochets. Now, and then I will work all around the circumference. I will pass through both again, work the second, and again work the third. And this will be my first granny stitch of the sleeve. Now I will skip in between the group of 3, so in between of the granny stitches, and just go ahead. I will go ahead and work all around. I will put my flowers. Don't forget to put your flowers. So I will begin with the flower pattern 2 with the second sequence, because this is the third row of the first sequence. So I will just work granny stitches all around. So I finished the round. Now I slip stitched into the first double crochet of the first group of 3, and I turn, always turn, and I will continue on working like this, and I will begin with the second sequence with the flowers, which means I will work my first group of 3 in between the 2 groups of 3 of the round below. Always turn, because like this you will have a straight line, joining line, and you will always begin in between the stitches. You don't have to slip stitch. So this is my flower. Second sequence I will alternate, so I will work 2 flowers, and now I am working the petals, and that's it. This is how you will work. I will work only one more sequence of, because I want it short sleeve. Okay, so I'm working on my last petal. Just want to show you how it looks. So here it is. Okay, and now I will continue on like this. As I said before, I want only one more sequence, flower sequence, to repeat. So I finished the sleeve. As I said before, I just want to make a short sleeve. Of course you can continue and make it longer. And let me show you how to work the border. So easy, but I think it's just perfect for this blouse, and I really like it. So I will work it around the sleeve too. Actually, we will work the double crochet. It's a granny variation, and just work on the wrong side, so you will have on the right side the border. Okay, so it must be worked on the wrong side. That's the idea, only on the wrong side. So if you don't have to turn, you won't turn. Okay, if you have to turn, you turn the round, sorry. So you around the first double crochet of your first granny stitch, work your double crochet, work your beginning double crochet and 2 more double crochets around the very first. Chain 1, skip around the next very first double crochet and work the front post double crochet 3 times. So you will always work around the first double crochet of the granny stitch, all 3 stitches, with a chain 1 in between. That's it. It's so easy and so very nice. And of course you will slip stitch at the end. Look at it. This is on the wrong side and this is the right side. It creates that nice border. So, and you slip stitch and cut the yarn, and that's it.